Hey, I'm back again. It's Matt Mrozik, aka MVM3897, with my second video of the night. And this is just a short update on the Xeku Zwei. And if you haven't been watching the forums, I've been painting like crazy on this guy. And he is looking really, really good. I just heard back from my client today who just saw the photos for the first time, and he seems pretty happy, which is the most important thing to me, to make sure he's happy with what he's getting. And he's looking really good. I have torn down the torso again, so if you haven't seen the pictures, I'll put again a link down here to the first test fit of the painted torso, which I test fitted last night and posted some photos. But I've gotten a little further today, and the next video right after this will be a small tutorial on how I do the fades. In my first photo post I posted a little while ago, the painted, you notice that I had some, the kit calls for some, if you paint it according to the photos, there's some parts that get faded. This being one of them. These are the leg armors. So it goes from an off-white to the blue, and it's not that difficult to do. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I just want to show you the examples that I have. Hopefully I don't drop this because that'd be a nightmare. Again, so I get that in some light for you guys. Hopefully you can see it. The blue to the white. And I probably mentioned this in the post on the forums. The key to this is the thinning of your paint. So I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I'm going to turn my camera around actually this way. See if I can get a better shot of it. See if you can see what it does or what it looks like. Yeah, that may give you a better sense. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. In my next video, sorry. This one's just an update. That's what happens when I do 3 or 4 videos in a night. I forget what I'm going to do in each one. So just be patient. So anyway, I've been spraying a little bit more tonight. Again, here are all the pieces so far. And you can see I just keep them in this bin as I'm painting because it gets pretty foggy in here. Here's the inner part of the torso. Again, like I said, I've broken it down. But this is going to stay as a sub-assembly right like that. So that'll get flat coated or gloss coated and paneling like that. So I have done put together a few sub-assemblies. That one, just some small ones. This guy. Let's get some vents a little bit later. The inside will get painted some sort of metallic. I'm not sure. You won't see much of that once I get the vents on. That's got a nice detail part up in there. It's been painted metallic. This is what I spent a lot of time on the other night in masking. So those are painted white. The insides will get painted yellow. Once I gloss cut, those will do a reverse wash enamel using yellow enamel, so I can just spray it and then we'll clean it up with lighter fluid. Here is the skirts. And I gotta tell you one thing. One thing I'm noticing, like I said in all my videos, I've been using this Rust-Oleum primer. I'm not as big of a fan of it as the Krylon. I've noticed that my paint is quite a bit more fragile. I think you saw in my post that I had some pretty significant paint lifting. That I think was because I was impatient and I just was trying to mask too quick. I should have just waited till the next day, but anyway, you live and learn. But I am noticing that I'm getting some little chips here and there that I normally probably wouldn't get with like Mr. Surfacer or the Krylon. So it's working. For the most part, it's doing really well, but I'll have some brush touch-ups here and there. Again, those will get painted yellow on the inside. Here's the head. Looking pretty menacing right there. And the funny thing is, this little part right here where the face is, I spent like 10 minutes masking it off and painting it, and you can't even see the damn thing. It's so tucked in there. But hey, I know it's done, and it makes me feel better. So, here's some of the leg internals. These aren't glued together. These are just kind of stuck together. All Mr. Metallic. That little dark spot right there in the center is just clear smoke on top of that silver. So just mask it off. Put a little clear smoke and you get a whole other color out of it. So that's a nice little trick to use. Masked off the leg. area the other night when I did all my masking. Painted those. Mr. Color, Mr. Super Iron, I believe that is. Let's see what else can I show you guys before I turn off and do my tutorial. I think that's about it. So this got painted red last night, and I just masked it tonight. That'll get sprayed. I'll get pre-shaded with black, and then some dark gray over that. And here's the part that had all the lifting. I sanded it down, reprimed it, polished it, and then I just now finished spraying the light gray. All this part in the bottom here will be, or the top will get masked off. This will then be pre-shaded with the midnight blue, and then top coated with the Xeku blue, which is the main color. And just some other little things I've been doing tonight. Little details, like I masked off the vents, sprayed white, and then I did fiery orange, and then I used the golden yellow to get a little shading. That will have to dry overnight, and I'll get masked one more time in the center. So that little edge all the way around is supposed to be white. So once this dries, I'll mask the exact center, and then I'll spray white again. So as you can see on these resin kits, since it's not a master grade or whatever Bandai kit, and the parts breakdown is not as I don't know, it hasn't broke down nearly as far. There's a lot of masking. You know, like these vents would be a separate part. Well, it's molded in. Now, the newer G-System kits with the frames, they are basically designed like a master grade kit. All the parts break down. You can pretty much paint everything individually. Gives you a good sense of the front nose area. This part, that little itty bitty spot was the same color as that. I didn't like it, so I masked it off tonight and sprayed it chrome. Now this will all get flat coated, so it's going to be like my Kshatriya did a couple years ago. Everything will get flat coated, so it'll just have this kind of nice dull metal look to it, which is kind of what I want to go for with this guy. I know Matt Tomczak does clear coats on all his metallics, and I like that for his stuff, but for my stuff I just kind of like, especially, I just think it needs to look more mechanized to me, not so pristine, even though this is considered a clean build. There's no weathering. I just kind of like the matte metallics myself. This is that sensor that goes on the side of the skirt. The center was sprayed blue, masked it off, did fiery orange, and then the yellow again to shade it, and you can see how smooth that is. That's that Plamo color. Paint's working out pretty well. This bottle of thinner was full 4 nights ago. That's how much I've used. This is 500 mils of thinner so far. So, word to the wise, if you ever plan on doing a kit like this, let's say the kit costs $300, plan on spending that much in supplies, if not more. That's just what it takes. Resin is, it soaks up primer, soaks up paint, the pieces are big. And there you go. So that's a little update on the Xeku. I will now sign off once again. If I can get my camera on the tripod and get back in frame. There we go. So I'll sign off right now, and I'll show you how I do the fade jobs on the armor. So stay tuned for that one. See you in a second.